Okay, today our guest is Francis Santos. Francis, thank you for joining me.
Not a problem, Troy.
For our guest, please tell us what you do and who you work for, what you do for a living, basically that.
Okay, well, for a living, I actually live for my kids and my family, so that really is the honest truth. But,
Good, good.
but my main occupation now, I've been in the healthcare industry for the past 25, almost going on 30
Yes.
years. That's been my, I don't like to say my forte, but my expertise lies in health insurance, property and casualty insurance,
Okay.
and basically trying to help people with their medical needs.
Where is this at? You can say the name.
Oh, StayWell. I'm
StayWell,
sorry,
okay.
I work for StayWell Insurance.
Okay. Okay. Like every interview, we like to when we're interviewing our guests, it's always personal. It's nothing. This is not a place to promote the business, but the person you are and how you became at the position you are with your success. And people in the show usually is known for being successful, and we like to highlight these areas of how you are and became that position. So let's start in the beginning. Where were you born?
Born in Guam.
Born in Guam. Okay, no need for a date or year.
I'm old, Troy. I'm 56 years old.
Okay.
So,
What are your mom and dad's names?
my mom and dad. My dad is Francisco Rivera Santos. My mom is Isabel Cruz Borja Santos.
Okay. How important of a role did they play in your life growing up?
Oh, the most important.
Most important.
My dad, in his successful career as a public service, people call them politicians. My dad is only high school education, but he felt that it was important that his children get the best education that they did or had. And so my brothers, my one brother and my three sisters, we all had a private school education. My mom is a nurse by profession, and our hard work, our ethics, and our values are all rooted in our parents' beliefs and principles. And everyone knows my dad was a longtime public servant. My mom, again, 30 years at the Guam Memorial Hospital.
Wow.
Those are our evidence, and
Absolutely.
my brother and sisters were rooted in that.
Yes, and that seems to be the similar theme with the other guests I've had.
Right.
The old school upbringing, hard work.
I know no other way.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in the new school that our kids are in now.
Oh.
I didn't have the luxury of the internet to go. I went to the library.
Yes,
I had
sir.
to read. You actually read a book. You didn't just go pull a book.
Exactly.
So it was a very different upbringing for I would say our generation. But again, it provides you the right roots and the right foundation to be what I am today.
Yes, absolutely, my friend. Yes, and this again it seems to be the same answers everyone's giving me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. You did that for you described what your parents did for a living. Were your parents strict?
Interestingly enough, those of you that know my dad, I mean, he's very stern, my mom was the disciplinarian in our family.
Yes.
So I think that had more to do with, she came from a large family of 12. So not strict in the sense of not holding us back. I think more strict in the sense that their beliefs and values mattered the most.
Okay.
And how you treat people is the way you're going to be treated
Absolutely,
also.
absolutely.
So it was always very important to them that, treat people with respect and you'll be treated back the same way.
Absolutely. What is your favorite color?
Blue. I would say more along the lines of.
That's default answer.
No. I like baby blue actually.
Okay.
If you my attire, if you ever were to go in my closet, there I tend to
Have some loud colors.
lean towards blue. No,
Blue?
I
Okay.
like the loud colors still.
By the way, for our listeners, he's wearing blue today.
Yeah,
Blue and white.
and I always use the phrase "real men wear pink." I have no issues with pink. I have
I
no
love it.
issues of.
A real confident man. wears
I
pink.
don't. I mean, it's not. It's the confidence factor, I think.
Exactly.
And if you feel comfortable with what you're doing or what you're wearing, then I don't have an issue with that.
Well said. Thank you. What are your hobbies? I know your hobbies before because we've known each other for a while.
Troy and I go back a while. I love sports.
Yes.
Whether I participate in it or watch it.
Very competitive guy, by the way.
To say the least. Ask my boys that now. My wife complains to me that your boys, are somewhat too vocal at times.
Yes.
They learned that from their dad.
From their dad. Yeah.
On the sports side, I
These
love
days.
basketball. I'll dabble in anything. I'm not good in any one sport, but I
These
love
days.
to still. Yeah, I like to play golf.
Rough. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so Hobby, no general thing.
Yeah.
I make a goal on myself to try to read
Yeah.
one book a month if I can.
Very nice.
Do a lot of reading if I can.
That's a question on our list
Yeah,
here.
and then it's things like that. Oh, I love going to the movies.
Oh, really?
I do.
Oh,
Now that I'm definitely in the Manamangco range, my Sunday routine actually is I go to mass in the morning with the family and have the nice routine of breakfast, and then I usually try to catch the first 10 o'clock show or whatever the first show is at any of the whole movie theaters. So I do that just to entertain myself.
very nice, very nice. Do you ever go alone?
Of course, I go alone most of the time.
Really?
My wife does not enjoy action movies anymore, but I do the occasional chick flick just
Chick
to
flick, gotcha. Just
just to
happy.
get her,
Right,
keep
right,
that going.
right.
But I usually go alone.
Oh, you're awesome, buddy. That sounds good. Okay. You have kids?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. So you're married and have kids? Yes.
Married and have kids, happily married and have kids. I have 5 kids. I have 4 boys and one princess.
Wow.
And
Queen of the house.
as a matter of fact, today, February 22nd, my second boy is 28 today.
Awesome, Francis.
So it's good, and it's a typical family. We have our trials, our tribulations, but rooted in love, rooted in mommy and daddy.
Yes, sir.
Trying to show that doing the right thing is always the best thing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Francis. Okay. Let me see. What is your favorite cuisine? I know it's a hard question. I'm sorry.
No, actually, not for me.
Oh, really?
Okay. I like Chamorro food.
Okay.
My wife will tell
Thai.
No.
No?
I'll eat it. I don't mind experimenting.
But that's something you go.
Personally, I like stufao or in the Philippine side adobo.
Okay.
And I prefer chicken.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What? Maybe a hard question. What's your favorite restaurant? One or
Here
two.
in Guam.
Well, a couple of them. 2 or 3, whatever.
For the Chamorro side, believe it or not, I like Linda's.
Linda's.
I like going to Linda's. I love their food. I love their stufao.
Wow.
I have a wide palate.
Sure.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Troy, I don't care about the fancy stuff. It's the food that
Hey,
matters.
you said that your answer said it all, man.
My wife is a good cook, and so
Okay.
we can be a fair critic of food.
Sure. But the ambience doesn't is what you is not
Pardon me?
the ambience of the
Oh no,
restaurant.
please! That's it's overpaid. I would eat at a hole in wall
Hole in the
before
wall.
I eat at a Roy's or or an al dente or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not it. You're paying for the meal,
Exactly.
not the ambience.
Francis, that actually says all about your character. So that's no, it is that's
Yeah.
good answer. Okay, what top 3 charities? And I know you support most, if not all of them, but what top 3 would you say is close to your heart? Top 2, 3, it doesn't matter.
Our family has been, I'm not sure what the right word to use. My wife has breast cancer,
Okay.
and she's now going to be a quote unquote a survivor. So although I've been in the industry, the health insurance industry, for many years, this was a really awakening thing for me to
Wow.
firsthand see.
I apologize, Francis.
No,
I
it's fine. This is she will be a survivor.
Great.
So the
Amen.
the reality now has checked on me. Of course, we've always supported things, but I've leaned towards being anything on the cancer side,
Yeah.
and it's only because now it's firsthand for me.
Absolutely. Straight home.
The other ones, of course, are my wife was with a former board member for like 15, 16 years with Catholic Social Services.
Okay.
So we obviously do a lot towards our charitable contributions and
Okay.
donations towards organizations that help the needy.
Okay.
And in that's for it. And then of course I think anything because my personal involvement in sports, I'll lean towards sports and organizations that will benefit kids.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Now back to the education side. What did you? I'm seeing. Where did you attend college?
I attended college, Seattle University.
Okay. What was your major study?
Major study was business administration.
Okay. I'm sorry for the back and forth.
No,
The,
go ahead.
the company you're at with, how many employees are StayWell?
StayWell Guam has about 45. We have a branch in Saipan with 4. We have another branch office in Manila with about 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, maybe next time I should categorize this better, but keep it the same. But
Yeah.
just go, what is your favorite word? What word do you like? What are some of your,
I think integrity.
integrity? Nice.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite word?
Politician.
Ah. Francis Santos on the record.
Mm.
Okay. What turns you on?
My grandkids.
Ah, man, it's a theme with
Yeah.
all you old school.
My-
I love
my
it. I
gran-
love
my
it. I love it.
grandkids.
What
Yeah.
turns you off? Politicians.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
joking. Just kidding.
What turns me off?
Yeah.
I think misinformed people.
Misinformed people.
Misinformed, not getting enough communicate or information about a subject matter and starting to talk about it
Yes.
and
Yes.
just being way off base.
Yes. Understood.
Yeah,
Fair answer. Yes.
that really is one of my pet peeves, and it just
But you know what's funny is the passion they have behind their conversation with which has no education behind it. You know, the
it
passion that they bring. You know,
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we have to respect how people
Sure.
feel and their opinions, but I think a misguided answer or statement
Yeah.
is so
it's
bad.
so
that-
damaging.
yeah,
I
it's-
understand.
yeah, not good.
Okay, what sound or noise do you love? Grandkids.
Yeah, I love to listen to music.
Oh, yeah?
I tend to listen more now toward jazz.
Do you listen to have music going while you're working?
No,
No.
not because I don't want to. I would tend to get distracted because if I hear it and I like it.
Turn it up.
Yeah,
Start dancing.
but I mean, in my office, you can see I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
Bose system hooked up.
There you go.
No,
No.
No.
Okay. Let me see. What sound or noise do you not like? What maybe irritates you, or you're just like turn it off, or stop it.
listening to people on the radio. Rap music.
That was it. Gotcha. Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to have attempted? You know, you always say, if I had another.
If I had another chance
Yeah,
at it,
yeah.
I think I would have become a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. I see that.
I think just being around, them, I just said,
Understood.
I could have done this, or I should have done
you
this,
should
or
have, yeah. Understood.
could have, should have done it.
Good.
right?
Yeah. Understand. Okay. What profession other than what you're doing now, which you have not liked? Not that there's anything wrong with that position, just that you maybe you admire it, but I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? It's just not for me. What job would you?
I think a doctor.
A doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, okay. Here's one. This is one that I love.
Yeah.
What is the biggest myth about your profession or your industry? What's the biggest myth that's out there that people you hear them talk about, but they have no it's far from the truth? What would you say?
That we say we cover something and then we don't.
Okay.
That we say we're going to cover you for your surgery and something comes up
Yeah.
that it's a misapplied benefit. And I think that to me is one of the biggest, just a mischaracterization
Sure.
of an insurance
Because everything is
industry.
in the policy, right? I mean, it's all black and white.
I don't. Yeah, it's black and white. It's
Yeah.
what's written in the
Yeah,
details, and I'm not a believer in let the buyer beware. But
Mhm.
as complex an industry as we are,
Yep.
with so much,
Mhm.
the details are there. It's. I think I don't like being mischaracterized as saying,
Sure,
we're
sure.
the insurance company. You say you're going to do this and you don't.
Sure, and I think a part to that is that a lot of people, like you said, who speak without being educated, are the ones that would they get the policy not knowing that it's
Yeah,
not there.
I mean that
and then-
Troy, you're so that is so exactly the point is that
Yeah.
our job is to we offer you a coverage.
Yes.
And we're
We ask
not
you
there
what you
to
want.
right. We're not there to
A la
say
carte.
I
You
mean
know?
to that extent and even in the auto industry that we do, automobile insurance,
There you go.
that is as plain as
Yeah.
hey, you're driving while you're drunk.
Yeah,
It's not covered.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
that is black and white. There's no argument about it.
Man.
And yet, people still try.
I
No,
understand.
I was not. I'm
Yeah,
going.
I feel your pain, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
got it.
Now I see
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it makes sense about
Yeah.
where your answers are lining up.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the question. What do you do when you get stressed out? You just about to pop and snap. What do you do just to breathe and get away? What's your activity? What's your out?
Well, depending on the situation, we usually call time out. I'll call it myself if I have to.
Okay. You're just overwhelmed,
for
by the
me-
day or whatever. Some purge.
Actually, I if I start to get stressed, I actually go out and try to do some yard work.
Interesting.
One, because you're alone and nobody's going to bother you. I do my own yard work. Whatever.
Yeah.
My boys complain to me is let's buy a riding mower, Dad, because it's easier. I said, no,
No,
I
yeah,
have,
we're in the same boat, my friend.
I have 2 feet. I can still walk. You know, I'm going to push a mower till I die, or, you
Awesome.
know, till you die.
That's right.
Um, but
We're on the
no,
same page, man.
I think the that'll be my way. I find I need an outlet,
Yeah.
and just to walk up and get away from it.
Actually, another guest
Yeah.
on the show, I forget who. I'm sorry,
Mm.
but that's the
Same thing.
same thing. Yeah.
If I find an outlet that's you
Yeah.
know
You are
you
kidding.
alone, yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Um, Going back to that book you said, what was the last book you read? You remember?
The last book I read was Sycamore Row by John Grisham. I'm
John,
reading.
man, everyone's reading Grisham.
So right now I'm reading Dan Brown Inferno.
Nice.
I tend to do more fiction.
Gotcha.
I stay away from the business books because
You did it all day, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
What movie do you find yourself watching over and over? Like, example, let's say you're flipping the channel and you saw this movie 20 times, but you know what? You just find yourself just wanting to watch it again. What movie? You know, what movie is that?
I'm a fan of Kevin Costner, so I think I can watch Field of Dreams
Yes.
over and over again.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, it's
No.
stuff like that is yeah.
Okay, I apologize for this next question, but this is Ray Gibson's mentorship. He's the one that Ray suggested I ask this question. Who was your first crush? Mr. Santos, I apologize.
My
But-
first crush.
Sorry, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, kindergarten. Did she even know who you were?
I mean, I went to Catholic school all my life. My sister Sarah was my classmate the entire time up to 8th grade.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good
I
one.
mean, she had many beautiful friends. Some of them became more than friends. I don't think I can pinpoint one. I mean, I was never really a.
That's fine. Something that comes back to that a girl that you wanted to like maybe date or say hi or go to lunch with. Like,
I mean, as they say, haggis, right? You're haggis here in Guam. And there are some still here, believe it or not.
Oh,
That's a stumper. I mean,
Stumper?
it's not
Love
that because
it.
I had many, but
no, understood. That's fine.
That's a tough one, Troy.
Okay, no
because
problem. We'll skip that one.
Yeah,
We'll
I
come
guess
back-
because
we'll
I
come back to
can
them.
I
You're
can
fine.
look at that. Yeah,
That's
go ahead.
fine. Okay.
Yeah.
What? Okay, here's one. What
Yeah.
are the 3 leaders in the community that's that would be good for this podcast archive that maybe you know them professionally just by in different meetings and so forth, but what are the 3 people that you like to hear their story and how they grew up and just the details of this show? What are the 3 people you'd like to see on the show?
Okay, let me. I'm going to look at
Mhm.
at other influences in my life.
Mhm.
I would hope that you talk to Justice B.J. Cruz now, Senator B.J.
Okay.
Cruz. He has,
Actually,
Ma-
I do have an appointment with him.
yeah,
so-
many people. I mean, just because of his character and his profession,
Sure,
and you see him as a totally. But like me, I think once you get to know B.J., you understand him.
Okay.
Yeah, if you'll let you know him.
Oh,
I
sure,
think that-
exactly.
that's
yeah.
the
There
key,
you go.
right?
There you go.
Another great influence on my life has always been Ken Paris. Ken Paris, brilliant man,
Mhm.
has worked. He's a major political influence for many people.
Okay.
Not contrary, people that know that. I mean, he's honest. I mean, he's worked for my dad, my late Uncle Tony and Pinko as chief of staff, as political strategist for Madeline Berdalio.
Mm. Oh wow.
And he's one of the rare men that can actually be trusted as a confidant in either a Republican or a Democrat
Okay.
senator, and that's proven because he worked for my dad and he worked for Senator
Okay,
Pinko,
okay.
and those are a very rare find to have. I think I'm trying to find one on the because obviously being rooted in a Catholic faith, there's always the influence of a priest.
Sure. Yes. Thank you.
And I'm trying to
This
find.
is for all professions. All.
Oh no,
yeah.
and I think for most of us, I mean, a lot of us are rooted in our faith,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I would wish that he was around. I mean, most of us that went to Father Duenas, we were taught and mentored and
Mhm,
guided
mhm.
by different priests in our lifetimes.
Mhm.
One that always comes to mind was Father James Gavin, who
Okay.
I believe
Yeah.
is still alive,
Yeah.
Father James. And,
Okay.
those kind of influences that have rooted me. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I've been in the Catholic education system all my life, even Seattle U that I went to. That's a
Okay.
Jesuit trained,
Okay. Okay.
school. So
Okay.
that influence is always there. So I think if I look back in my life and wanted to do the same for my kids and say these people really guided me,
Mhm.
to what I value today. And
Yes. And this is what.
yeah, and I mean, those I think if there were other ones that had that kind of influence, you'll see
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for
So
that. Thank
yeah.
you. And again, these are the reason why I asked that question is because like you said, these are the people that guided you, influenced you
Yeah.
in a great way. So hopefully this show would would form,
Yeah.
it would nurture, shape the future leaders of Guam, which
Yeah.
is why this podcast is developed. Um, what was your most memorable moment personally and professionally? Do you have one? Are there too many to name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that out.
No, no, no. I mean, on the business side, there's many. I mean,
Uh,
there's a lot. There's different ways to look at achievement
mhm.
and success.
Sure,
I
sure.
think I I think politically because that was a career that really wasn't chose. I chose that. It kind of like it chose me.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, I think the fact that I actually was able to win and become a a I don't want to say politician or a public servant like my dad.
Hmm.
That was an achievement. I think, first of all, you needed the confidence of the people of Guam to get that seat,
Sure, sure.
and I think I'm
That
one of
says a
the,
lot, man. That speaks volumes.
yeah, and I think from from the people that have done this, I'm one of the few that can actually say I walked away from it on my own terms
Nice.
because I said no more. I mean,
Yeah.
I just said I'm done doing this.
Yes. How many terms did you?
I did the equivalent of three. I
Three, okay.
fulfilled my dad's and did two on my own.
Okay.
I think the other highlight in I would want to say my public service career
Mhm.
is making the decision to run with then Lieutenant Governor Kaleo Moylan as a Republican.
Okay.
And Kaleo and I knew going in that it was going to be a very, very hard fight.
Mhm.
And I think um, I don't like to use the word it was before our time
Uh-huh.
because there's never the right time for
Yeah.
anyone to step forward. But
Okay.
I mean, I thank him for having the confidence to choose me.
Mhm.
And I think when we were all said and done, even despite our loss, we said, look, history will record that we did something
Mhm.
that no other two individuals would dare to do.
Correct.
I mean, it was more daring
Yeah.
on his part
Yeah.
to
Sure.
choose someone outside.
Sure.
And he said, he said, Francis, it's not the politics
Yeah.
of the day. It's what we feel. And
Yeah.
like him, we didn't go into public service to gain.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously
Sure.
we don't
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
We've always had our careers outside of it.
Yes.
So that was important to me. And I think from achievement side, that just from the public service and the personal gain that I got from that. I mean that one thing alone for
Mhm.
me, it gave me enough confidence to go and work on both sides, whether you're a Republican or a
Great.
Democrat, and
Okay.
I still get called by these guys to say, well, what do you think? And
Oh wow.
and I share what because I don't.
Oh.
I have the perspective of being on the outside,
No,
but also knowing the
Yeah,
inside.
definitely. No, that's great.
And I think
That's
they
valuable.
value that. And I just share with them. I said, it's
Mhm.
it's a difficult thing because I can tell you there's the right way to say a politics side and there's a wrong way
Yeah.
to say it. But at the end of the day, you better feel confident about what you're saying
Yes.
because people can see through you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Here's the last question, Francis. How do you want people to remember you? I'm not sure if it's important to you or
No,
not, but
it-
what I'm sure it's, everyone likes to.
You know what? That's interesting. It never really matters, but it does. I mean,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it's
Yeah. And one of the things that
I don't it's kind of like when I look back at my dad is to what really do people measure your legacy
yes.
and I look at that for me as I want them to know that when I worked with them or when they needed my help,
Yes.
it was there. I was
Yes.
honest about it. I
Yep.
was forthcoming, and you know, if I said no, there
It's-
was a reason for the no.
And respect my answer.
Yeah, and you know those kind of things, and it's and know that you know it was sincere on my part.
Mhm.
I'm not, you know, the gain is not because it's me, Francis Santos. It's not, you know. At the end of the day, I want to walk away knowing that I helped somebody, and it wasn't because, you know, I needed their vote, for example, or
Yes,
anything. No,
I
it's-
gotcha.
I did it. You
Yes.
know, there's a reason for doing it. I did it
Okay.
because I actually cared about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Hey, Chelo, man. Jesus Masi
No, no, I'm much appreciated,
this-
Troy.
yeah.
Like I told you, I applaud any entrepreneurs, most especially from our Chamorros, because hey, you know, it's a hard job.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says. When this is your own company, your own doing, your own heart, sweat, your own blood,
Yes.
it's different.
It is.
And the satisfaction is because you did it. Nobody
Yeah,
else did. And
yeah.
at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna look back and says, I know that guy.
All right,
You
man.
know, and I said, Troy did this stuff when he was young. No, hey, I mean, you know, there's not too many of us.
Yeah. Well, I
You know,
appreciate it,
there's
man,
a few and far
Francis.
between, so.
Thank you so much,
Brother,
Hey,
it's
thank
time.
you.
Good
Yes, sir.
luck. Good.